So I heard about a situation where a teacher sat down with a parent at a parent-teacher conference and informed the parents that their student showed signs of possibly being on the autistic spectrum and that they should be tested. The parent did not take this information very well at all. The parents crossed her arms like this and started yelling at the teacher, saying, "My child is not autistic. How dare you think such a thing? You are not my child's doctor. You're an incompetent person who doesn't know how to teach. I never should have put my son in the school full of idiotic teachers and faculty." Looking at the stages of grief, this parent was in both the shock, disbelief, and denial stage and the anger and resentment stage of grief. I feel like the parent is in the shock, disbelief, and the denial stage because the parent did not respond to the teacher's concerns in a gentle and understanding tone. Rather, she responded angrily. She first was shocked and in complete denial that her son would ever be considered autistic. Then she blamed the school and the teachers for being incompetent and idiotic. And she felt remorse for ever putting her son in the school to begin with. So I only heard of the situation. I was not personally there to respond to this parent. However, if I was, I would have responded by using active listening strategies. So, first, I would have responded with silence. Sometimes the best thing you can say in the moment is nothing. At this point in the conversation, the parent was angry, frustrated, and scared for their child. The parent responded in a harsh manner, blaming the teacher and the school for essentially being the problem. After a moment of silence, the parent would have had time to cool down and collect their thoughts, and that's when I would move on to my next strategy. So, secondly, I would use the reflection active listening strategy. I would say, "It sounds like you're feeling pretty frustrated about the situation. I recognize that your feelings are valid. I would feel frustrated too. However, in the best interest of your child, it is important for us to have them tested. That way, we can figure out some answers and either put all this behind us or proceed forward in a way that gives your child the tools that they need in order to succeed." Thirdly, I would restate or paraphrase the parent's words by saying, "You said that I am not your child's doctor, and you are correct. I will never diagnose a child. Rather, I am simply informing you on behaviors and tendencies that I have seen your child partake in. Have you noticed your child doing any of these things at home?" Lastly, I would remember to implement active listening strategies throughout the whole conversation by demonstrating wait time before responding, by allowing the parent to complete their sentences before, I begin talking. I would also be conscious of my body language by maintaining, constant eye contact, leaning towards the parent, nodding my head, having an open body posture and gestures. Doing all these active listening strategies will enhance the relationship between the parents and the teacher. So in class, we talked about several different conflict resolution strategies. So in regard to the situation regarding this particular parent, I would implement the following conflict solving strategies. So first, I again would pause and take a breath. I would give the parent time to collect their thoughts and take a minute to process their feelings. Again, silence sometimes is the best response. And then secondly, I would assess my own role honestly. I would admit to the parents that, again, I am not a doctor and that I will never diagnose their student. And I would be honest if there was anything that I could have been doing in regard to helping that student reach their full potential more easily that maybe I wasn't doing, but I should have been. I would then attempt to move towards discussing problem-solving strategies such as, generating potential solutions that could help the child, and then communicating with the parent like which of these solutions we want to implement now. Because really, the teacher and the parent needs to be asking themselves, what can I do today to help my students? Because focusing one day at a time, like what can I do now to help my student, is a lot less stressful than trying to list XYZ, like all these things that like they need to do. because that can be overwhelming, So it's really important just to remind yourselves like we're doing the best we can. We're on the same team. We all have the same goal of helping our student achieve and fulfill their potential. So, what can we do today to help them?